Dearest Bamanji, his lovers, fans, and admirers, and all the young freshers of HSNC University eager to listen to him, I wish you all a very good morning and a warm welcome to the 8th day of induction program of HSNC University. Dear friends, I often begin my talks with the quotes of great minds. Today, I will begin by reminiscing about a wonderful words of wisdom which I can never forget. I want to share with you all what I heard from Bamanji once. Pay your dues first and start from the ground floor. Nothing comes like a bullet, it takes time. Put your efforts with humility. For me, these words mean a lot. Why? Because I know very well that Boman is not only the person of words, but a person of deeds. What he speaks is completely reflected in his actions too. And when he uses the word humility, trust me, my friends, I must say, in spite of being at the peak of what he is at, I have hardly ever met a person or anybody as down to earth as Bamanji. I'm fortunate to know him as a gentleman, as one of the most unassuming, humble human beings who is adept at the art of winning hearts by honoring them with a lot of love and respect. He has always accepted our invitations whenever we invited him. His son, Kayo, was with us, and he acted as a wonderful parent, keeping a record of his education, his attendance, his performance. And so he's a great parent too. I remember, Bamanji, you once had come and you said this on the stage in the auditorium of KC College. Whenever KC will call me, I will come on bent knees. Such is his humility, and we have never forgotten those words, Bamanji. Like always, it is once again truly an honor and such a pleasure to welcome you, sir, for our HSNC University's platform. I believe there is no need to introduce Bamanji, and as he's such a beloved actor and so popular among the youth, they would do the right justice to your introduction actually. But what people often don't know about him is that he calls himself a lifelong student. Thank you very much, Bamanji, for joining us in our induction program of the students of the very first batch of our university. I'm sure they will have their bags of inspiration full after listening to you. Now I would request Mr. Boman Irani to share a few gems of wisdom from his sack of experiences. Let's have on board the great Boman Irani.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good to see you.
Good morning, everybody, all of you listening out there. So, Manjula ma'am, how are you? Kayoze remembers you very fondly. But I always tell Kayoze, look, once I'd gone for the first time to KC College after you joined KC College, and I had said that, you know, and I'll keep coming. I'll keep coming.
Sir, I must tell you, every time you come, it's such a joy. We have rescheduled everything, you know, whether it is the principal of KC or HR or all of us who are present here. We just can't miss the chance of listening to you speak live. So, you know, and a big hug and a hello to Kayozi. I am in touch with him. I am going to get him next month to do a session.
Touch with Kayo?
Yeah.
He's not in touch with me. What are you talking about? I'm busy, I'm running here, I'm running there, I got a shoot, I got a meeting, I got an online meeting.
No, he always has time for his department, let me tell you that.
He does very much. So I'm glad to be, I don't know, let's do some general conversation till we start. Let the students know what kind of relationship we have.
Yes.
Get into my big bhashan. So tell us more, what's been happening since the last time I saw you all and I came over? And what's this new
Hema ma'am, would you like to?
Yeah. Your mic is off. Hema ma'am, if the mic is on, the sound comes better.
So you want me to remain muted? Then are you
No,
telling me
no,
that?
I'm saying turn on your mic so I can hear you. Otherwise, the sound does not come very well. Ah,
So, three colleges of Hyderabad Sindh National Collegiate Board, you know, HR College, KC College, and Bombay Teachers Training College. So they have come together and they have formed new university, and that is HSNC University, Mumbai, and this is State Cluster University. So this year, 2021, marks the first academic year of this new university. Hence, we are here organizing this wonderful induction program for our freshers. And let me tell you, Bamanji, today, during this talk of yours, 3,000 students of HR and KC along with BTTC. And of course, there are many students of our board institutions are watching you, listening to you.
so what does HSNC stand for?
Is Hyderabad Sindh National Collegiate
Correct.
Board, and HSNC is Collegiate University.
Wow.
And Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, as we discussed yesterday, he's the honorable provost of this university.
Wow. Wow. How amazing. How amazing. I'm so happy and I'm so proud. And unfortunately, I can't see any of the students. So if we can have some of the students in the, on their cameras, I'll be very happy to see more.
Saksham, Anvi, please come out.
Come on, man. What is this in the shadows? See how studious he's looking with all that.
You got principals as your students, sir.
Kya baat.
You're gonna learn
Aksham,
Today we are going to learn from you.
And Bamanji, let me introduce Dr. Pooja Ramchandani. She's principal of HR College
I met, yeah, so nice.
and Dean of Commerce and Management.
So nice.
Hello, sir.
How are you? Don't say sir. I feel, So let's have some more students show up their faces, please. Come on, turn on your cameras. Don't be shy.
Gaurang and
Come on, man.
Here you have faculty also joining in from
Miss
HR and KC.
All students, faculty, sab ek hi hote.
Surya, Pratiksha, please come out.
Brunal, Kiran, how are you? How are you?
We
Come on.
also have Miss Meg Gwalani. She's vice principal of KC College.
Surya, how are you? Surya Gune. All right.
Hello, sir. I'm good, sir. How are you?
Faculty, everybody is like a student. So great. So tell me, Emma ma'am, what would you like me to do?
So I want you to share your experiences when you say you're a lifelong student. So
Right.
how has been your journey and how you are treating yourself as a student till today? And
Oh.
of course, about your experiences as a teacher. Now you are in our community. You're teaching assistant directors and script writers. So all that you
Get to that at the
experience.
very end. Just now, let me start at the very beginning because थोड़ा भाषण करने दो सुनेंगे ना सब लोग मेरा भाषण.
Absolutely, sir.
All right.
Babanji.
So I'll just start by saying this. Let's compare all our stories like that of a movie. Like we are the main character, the hero or the heroine of a movie. And I'll just lower this light, it's too strong. And because I teach screenwriting, I think it's important to understand which movie is interesting and which movie is not. Some movies are very interesting and some movies are not so interesting. And you realize that the movies that are interesting are not the ones which only have great special effects and great explosions and, costumes and photography. Stories and movies are eventually about human beings and their struggle. All great movies, the first requirement to write a great movie is to have somebody who wants something. You want something. If you don't want anything, I'm not interested in watching that movie. Imagine if Amir Khan goes to the British and say, what about our Lagan? We can't deal with our Lagan. What do you want to do? Play a cricket match? Say, no, let's do one thing. Let's play some cards and we'll pay you the Lagan in any case. Will you want to watch a movie about a man who gives in so easily? Everybody must have a want. If you don't have a want, then it's not a story worth telling. So ask yourself, that want could be anything. But there are two kinds of wants in this world. One is an external want. An external want is something that you want to feel, which is tangible. I want a prize. I want to win the World Cup. I want to be a number one journalist. I want to be a number one filmmaker. That's an external want. But there also, believe it or not, there's an internal want that you may not know of. But there is something inside of you that drives you to get that external want. And that internal want comes from a wound, some kind of pain, some kind of heartache, some kind of regret. And in life, regrets aren't great. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that I want? When I was a kid, in many ways, I knew I wanted to be in the movies. But let's start from the very beginning. I wanted to be in the creative field. I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be everything to do with movies. Theater. I wanted to get on stage. I wanted to feel the lights on my face. I wanted to feel the wooden floor under me. I wanted to hear the sound. I wanted to hear the audience. So I had a want, my friends. But that happened very early in life, but it takes time sometimes. So let's start on the day I was born. Or let's start before I was born. I was born in 1959. Everybody's calculating. Matlab Buddha 61 years hoga. Shayad, don't calculate. I gave you the answer. I'm not good at maths. Yesterday, Hema ma'am who was asking me? You don't remember? I said, no, I really don't. My maths is not good. I don't remember a single number. It is part of my learning disability. I don't remember numbers. So if I look at a phone number and I try to dial it, I'll dial wrong. If somebody says, go to room 1256, I'll go to room 53, whatever. Numbers don't get inside this side of my head. Believe it or not, there was a film I did with Shah Rukh Khan, which was Dawn, and I had a password to some vault. So he's saying, tell me up to bata do, vault ka number. I said, yeah, 1825. Assistant director comes and tells me, sir, it's 25. Huh? 2556. Okay. Take two. Vault ka number batao. Vault ka number hai 3942. Huh? What's going on? This went on for 9 takes. So the director, Farhan Akhtar, comes and tells me, what's going on? He's saying, I don't remember numbers. I have a learning disability. And I think we understand learning disabilities. It's true. So this side of my brain doesn't work. This side or this side, I don't know. But the other side works pretty okay. Thankfully, you get compensated for it. So I was born in 59, in December. My father passed away in May of 1959. I was born 6 months later. I don't even know whether May to December is 6 months, but I'm just guessing. So I was born in a family where everybody was feeling sorry for me. Aunties, mostly aunties, chachis, masis, cousins, all females. I didn't know what a male looked like. People used to mollycoddle me. People used to take care of me. Oh, bichara, 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 bichara. I got fed up of being called bichara Boman. People just feel sorry for you for some reason. I thought something's wrong with me. Kuch problem hoga mere mein. That's why people are going on bichara, bichara, bichara. I had speech defects. And I'm saying to myself, every time I speak, people are laughing, people has rahe. I used to speak like virus. Literally, I use that speech, virus ka speech, just to overcome that anxiety. And I used to speak with my tongue out. ऐसे करके बात करता, पतली आवाज थी मेरी और हकलाता था भी मैं. I used to stammer on top of it. And I'm saying to myself, every time I speak like that, people are laughing. Something's wrong with me. Keep quiet. So I kept quiet. Went for admission to school. Principal said, don't worry. Father Molinet said, don't worry, Mrs. Irani. We take him in. Showed me a photograph. I said, it's part of the process. Showed me a photograph. It was a horse. I could not say horse. It has an S in it. I said, कैसे बोलूं मैं? मैं बोलता था तो father बोलेंगे डफर है. लोग मुझे डफर बुलाते थे. I was known as Duffer. Bichara Boman, the Duffer. Okay. Then here goes. I go and I fail the test. My mother is saying he was going to give us admission. Why didn't you say it's a horse? Bola kyun nahi? I said, better to keep quiet. There will be no proof of my dufferdom, of my duffergiri. Chuk baithna hai. 10 days later, then that's why I respond to great educationists, 10 days later, he calls up my mother. Mrs. Irani, some mistake we made. I said, what happened, Mrs. What happened? So she says, I asked your son what's a horse is. Of course, a child knows what a horse is. He's just nervous. Send him. We'll make him confident. Don't worry. And these are the things that come to your aid, and compassionate people come to it. Compassion is very important, my friends. Today, all our students, tomorrow you'll be in a position of power to give jobs to people. Make sure that you're compassionate. Just don't see, okay, he or she is well dressed, speaks well, speaks correctly. Look if there's potential. Look if there's something that you can see in people. Look deeper. Just don't look at the mark sheet alone. I had learning disability. I spoke about it before we started. And those learning disabilities didn't come handy. I just could not understand certain subjects. Well, certain subjects I did pretty well. It's strange. I just about managed to pass the 10th standard. I did not have good marks to go to a good college. I went to, and I finished, don't know if I finished also. And I decided to be a waiter. I said, if you want to be a waiter, do the best at least. Go to the best hotel in the country at least. To Taj Mahal Hotel. I went for an interview to this guy called Sam Bhada, very khadus guy, khadak ekdam. A very sharp looking guy in a dark suit. And he said, okay, you want a job? I said, yes, sir. As a waiter? I said, yes, sir. Which department? So my style se bola. Food and beverage. I said, food and beverage. Very good. Very good, very good. He's saying, idiot, the whole hotel business is about food and beverage. What rubbish are you talking? Which department? I said, okay. Speak on specifics. The Rendezvous French restaurant. Oh God, the Rendezvous French restaurant. Yeah, very nice. You sing it also nicely, like a Frenchman, Rendezvous. I said, yeah, on the top floor, rooftop. I said, yes, sir. I said, good. Say, idiot, start in the basement. I think I was mildly misquoted. I didn't say start on the ground floor. Start in the basement. Basement gives you foundation. Start in the basement, go to the kitchen in the basement and start with room service. And he gave me a tray. They gave me a tray and I walked around Taj Hotel for 2 years collecting tips in room to room to room to room to room. The webbing in my feet used to tear. I used to walk so many miles every day. I did go to Rendezvous. I managed to get there finally. There are no magic bullets, as Emma ma'am said. You have to pay your dues, basically. You have to pay your dues. I get a call from my mother. So she was a single parent and she was running a shop. We had a shop. Dukan thi, choti si. She said, you'll have to sit at the shop. I met with an accident. I said, oh my God. And I went running home. I had to leave the job. And I started working at our family shop. We used to fry and sell potato wafers, chips, crisps, what do you like to call them? We call them wafers. Garma garam wafers. We used to fry them in a bhatti, and in the dukan, we used to sell them. We used to weigh it on the vegetable vendor scale, tarazu pe, and we used to sell it. I did that for 14 years. 14 years. I used to fry the wafers also. We used to weigh the wafers. We used to cut the potatoes. We used to do everything. Everything. It was a hardy life. It was an honorable life. But I was a creative person. I was getting stuck there for some reason. So after getting married, I said, I needed to do something that made me feel creatively happy. So I had not taken my family for a holiday for 7 years, and they never stepped out of Bombay. My kids were 7 and 5, and we had never stepped out of Bombay. And I said, let me take them for a holiday, but I didn't have money. So I broke the piggy bank of Taj Mahal, and I bought a camera, a very basic Pentax K1000 camera. And I started taking photographs of school sports events, because I combined sports and photography, and I loved sports, I loved photography, and there you go. And I had this selling pictures for 25 rupees. And I made some money, went for a holiday. And I went to this holiday, and there were no websites those days. There were what are known as classified ads in the yellow pages. And I booked this hotel in Ooty, and we went. And I never realized, I didn't have the finesse to do it. The first time I booked a hotel room in my life, I'd worked at the Taj, but that was out of our... And it was a hotel that looked like a horror house, a horror film. And I went inside, and I'm saying, my God, what is this place? So I went inside, and they opened the room. Even the sound effects were like a horror film, yeah, the door opened, and it sounded like a horror film. The door opened, oh God. Went inside, it was dark. I said, turn on the light. So that gentleman turned on the light, the old man. And he turned on the light, and it was still dark. There was a light. One light came on. One light in the whole room. It was a 0 number bulb, 0 vodka bulb. Is this what I planned for my family? Is this what my aim is? I don't want to give them the presidential suite or luxury, but basics to honi hona chahiye. You have to aim. What is my want? To do well for my family. That was my immediate want. Of course, there's a cosmic want. The overall want is there. But I want to do well to give my family a good life, a good education. How am I going to do it? Is this my life? It was a 0 number bulb. Came back to Bombay, and I said, I got to up my game. This 25 rupees won't do. I need to make some money. And I said, let's do a bigger event. There was a World Cup of photography of boxing that was coming to India. And I said, I want to be the official photographer. New want. Remember, I'm keeping using these words. New want. And I went to this gentleman, and he was also one Khadu's guy. He says, you want to be the official photographer of the World Cup? I said, yes, sir. He says, these photographs? I said, sports photographer. Saying, very good, excellent. But there's not a single photograph of boxing. I said, but sir, look at it. You cannot say I'm a sports photographer means you know about boxing. It's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. When you go into this big bad world, my friends, just because you know how to make a movie, it doesn't mean you know how to make an action movie. Just because you know how to make a movie, it doesn't know how you know how to make a love story. They're all different genres, and you got to be an expert in the genre. Just because I work as an actor doesn't mean I can be a screenwriter by just spending 20 years in the industry. You should know what your subject is. So he says, but there are no sports photographers. Boxing photographers. I said, sir, look at it, man, top. He's saying, you're that wafer wala? I said, yes. So you make wafers out of potatoes? Yeah. You buy potatoes? I said, yeah, I'm an expert. Really? He said, where do you go? I said, there's an onion and potato market in New Bombay. I go to Pune sometimes. To the mandi. Really? I can hold a potato in my hands. I can put my thumb inside and say when it needs to be fried, how much moisture in it is in it. What month is it ready? Which area of India it comes from the color, from the texture. He's saying that's very impressive. What else is available in that market? He said, onions. Do you know anything about onions? I said, no, that's my point, buddy. That's my point. You may know about potatoes, but you don't know about onions. Boxing is like the onions. Sorry. And he gave me back all my photographs and said, get out. I said, sir, how long is the job open for? Another 2 weeks. Say, I'll be back. I'll be back, sir. Saying, Jana, tu, you go sell your wafers. Go sell your potatoes. No. Why are you worrying about all this? I went and I found a boxing tournament, a very, very low level. Sorry to respects to those people. Low level boxing tournament. Very bad lighting, very bad arena, thin boxers, it just felt very strange. And I went and said, look, how am I going to get world-class pictures for a World Cup kind of look and practice over here and show him that I can do work with this kind of stuff? And I said to myself one thing, look, guys, we will never get all the ingredients on the table. Never. You won't have the equipment, you won't have the look, you won't have. What you have is what you have. And if you don't have it, squeeze it. Because otherwise we'll start grumbling. And the moment you start grumbling, oh, I could have made this film, but I had only this, I had only that. Yeah, really? Oh, I don't have the budget. Yeah, really? Oh, my father is not. Yeah, I come from a small town. Yeah. Once you start making excuses, you're playing the victim. And once you play the victim, you stop. But you say, this is what I have. These are the lemons that I have. I'm going to make the best lemonade. And I started taking those pictures. And I took some bad pictures. And I went the next day and I took some other pictures. I went this way. All the press photographers were sitting in one corner. They were having their little thing and the chai. And they didn't have to prove to anything to anybody. They had a job. They were comfortable. I was not. So I'm taking. After 2 weeks, I went back to this gentleman, Mr. Adajania. And I said, sir, and I gave him. He just took the thing, put in the drawer, shut the drawer. Oh, yeah. What? Wait. He took an envelope and gave me another envelope. Open it. You have been appointed official photographer of the World Cup. I said, you didn't see the pictures. He said, I didn't have to. You know why, guys? Because I knew it the moment you left. I could see it in your eyes. I could feel the fire in your belly. I knew you wanted and you were going to come back with good pictures. I knew it. And I'm saying to myself, that's what it takes. People are going out in this world. You could be very technically proficient. You might have great mark sheets. You might have great grades. But if you don't have passion, guys, you're not going to get the job. And when I say the job, I mean the real job that counts. You get a job. Of course you get a job. And he saw the pictures and he says, wow, Boman, these are fantastic. And I said, I didn't grumble about my little dinky camera. I didn't grumble about the bad boxing. I just did what I could best. The World Cup boxing came and I was asked to take 3 pictures. And I'm looking at all those other photographers and they've got all these fancy things and, those bazookas and those lenses. And I have this little thing. And I say, what am I going to do? And I said to myself, I got this job with this friend of mine. Don't look at other people's stuff. This is what you have. Same story. I was going to be paid for those 3 pictures that I was sending to a Norwegian magazine, $100 a picture. 3 pictures. I said, if I get those $300, I'll be the luckiest man in the world. 3 pictures, $100. I can do that math, by the way. Itna bhi kharab nahi hai. And I've said it enough times too. So, but my boxer was losing. I said, Mera boxer to maar kha raha hai. I'll not get my money and I'll not. I said to myself, take it easy. Take it easy. Stop thinking about the money. Stop thinking about your stupid camera. It's your friend. Concentrate on the moment. And I refocused and I got my 3 pictures. My boxer hit 1 punch and won. And these are the miracles that happen. I went home, I sent those pictures to Norway and I said, okay, $300 a picture, $300 for the 3 pictures. And that guy said, yeah, okay, go collect your $900. He gave me $900 for 3 pictures. And I'm saying, what's happening? You know what happened? You could call it a miracle. I'll tell you what happened. In the period that I was struggling to get these things right, I ironed out all my problems, all my shortcomings, all my failings. And your failings could be small. It could be just being unpunctual. It could be just saying, okay, I'll watch a movie till 4 o'clock in the morning, and in the morning I'll run, and you'll feel, no. You gotta iron all those problems, because that's how the miracle happens. You could be just bull your way through something, lie. No, these are my shortcomings, and I iron those out. And once you do that, and take control of your life, don't wait for someone to come and present you something. Present it to yourself. Because the moment you're waiting, it's not going to come that day. So take control of your life. And I said, this is what happened. I got $900 for something that I was expecting. Actually, less than that. 300 was the maximum. But maximum 3 times. 1 week later, some sound is coming from someone's mic. 1 week later, I got a check from Norway. And my wife said, the check has come. I said, what? Really? And $900. I said, no, that's a mistake. They've already paid us, already overpaid us. All right? I opened the advice on the check and it said $900 for reprinting your photographs. They reprinted my photographs and they sent me the money for it in another allied associate magazine. The magazine was called Vigi. I'm saying, how am I supposed to know that they were printed? But they just sent it because that's their ethic. Ethics are important. And that opened my eyes. I said, you know, if you do your work ethically and you do it honestly and you do it with determination and passion, can't go wrong. I learned those lessons earlier. And I kept getting $900 every time they printed those pictures. Every single time. It's shocking, right? It prompted me to start a studio. I started a studio. But guess what? I took a loan. I'm not good with business. So I took a personal loan and I didn't have work. I started a studio, but didn't have work. You know why? I had not paid my dues. I thought because, you know, people are paying me $900 for a sports photograph. Hey, now I'm shooting faces. I've not paid my dues. I didn't go to the basement to do the room service tray. I didn't understand onions versus potatoes. I didn't understand boxing versus cricket. This is advertising. Who's going to give you work just because you have a studio and because you think you can take some nice boxing photographs now? You've got to up your game all the time. And for 2 years, I was broke, out of money. My wife came and gave me her jewelry to sell. I started crying. She said, sell it. I said, are you gone mad? She said, no, sell it. Saying this jewelry won't make me look beautiful. Trust me. She said, this jewelry is not going to make me look beautiful. I'm not going to look any prettier by wearing jewelry. You look pretty when you're happy. You are not happy. Go sell it. Pay off your loan. Right? Smile. When you smile, I'll smile. I might look pretty. Simple philosophy sometimes. Pay you. Unbelievable. Simple. I started doing well. Shamak Dawar came into my life, the first celebrity. He started doing pictures and then I did Miss India. My first Miss India pageant, I did the portfolio of the Miss India girls, and Diana Hayden took the portfolio with her to Miss World and came back as Miss World. And next thing I know, okay, I paid my dues and I'm doing okay. Shamak Dawar takes me for lunch one day. And instead of taking me for lunch, he actually lied to me, took me for an audition. I said, where are you taking me? Shh, for an audition. I said, I don't want to act right now. I've got too many bills to pay and all that. He's saying, look, you're an actor. I said, no, I'm not. I said, hey, don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. Shamak said, you're lying. I said, why do you say that? He's saying, because your body, your face, every bone, every hair on your head, every hair on your hand is saying you're an actor and you're saying you're not an actor. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. And don't lie to yourself. I went on audition. I got a 3-minute role in a play. 3 minutes, 200 rupees. I said, okay, one of my lifelong wants are about to be fulfilled, but for 3 minutes, never mind. I said, 3 minutes mein kya hoga? Hema ma'am, 3 minutes mein kya hoga? And I remember a quote I'd read somewhere. I think it was Sir Laurence Olivier. Somebody else must have said it, but he's said it many times. And this goes to all of you. And the quote says, there are no small parts. There are no small roles. There are only small actors. And I said, okay. And I got 3 minutes. I went on stage. The play didn't do great, but I went on stage for 3 minutes and 2 things happened. One was, I did well. I got great reviews and I got great applause. And two, one of my lifelong wants was completed. I stood on stage, I stood on the wooden floor, I took the light on my face, and I love an audience. Aur kya chahiye? And from that one small part of 3 minutes, I got a lead role and another lead role. I played Gandhi, and I went on and on and on doing it. I said, what's happening? I've been training to be an actor all my life, I said to myself. I've been reading, I've been making notes, I've been reading monologues, I've been doing exercises on acting, never told anybody. But if you're passionate, don't just be passionate. Learn your craft and pay your dues towards that passion. You can't say that I like it when Virat Kohli hits a six and does, he does that. Don't practice this. Practice this. This will come naturally. But he must be practicing for hours and hours on the nets. So when that bears fruit, he's doing this because of that, not because he's doing it to the audience. Fame is not necessarily a want, just by the way. Fame is a byproduct of your want. Don't say, I want to become famous. You can. It's not in your hands, unfortunately. You have to put in some craft. Okay. So next thing, Ram Madhwani calls and says, I want to make a movie. I said, yeah, let's do it. But it's an experimental film. This is about 20 years ago, okay? There were no, there were no iPhones. There were no phones, handphones. Maybe they were, I'm not sure, but there were no cameras on those phones for sure. There used to be big hatodas, and there was no YouTube. But we decided to make an experimental film. We shot it in 8 days, but we wrote it for a year and a half. A year and a half. Rehearsing, rewriting. He made me rehearse and he made me one of the writers. And we were writing and rehearsing, writing, rehearsing, writing, rehearsing. My wife is saying, what is going on? When are you going to release the film? Ram said, we are never going to release this film. Now, what are we doing it for? I said, just for passion. All right. So we made this film finally. We had a premiere in his house. 11 of us attended it. 11 very excited people who were involved in the film. It was never going to be released. We gave it the reviews. We gave it a standing ovation. Kya baat hai? Kya baat hai? And then what? No. There is always, listen to what happens next. There is always a reward for hard work. So our film, this film called Let's Talk, is being edited. And next to it is this blockbuster that's being edited in the edit studio. And this big producer director says, what's that film? So why is it shot like that? It's shot on a handy cam. So the handy cam is 10 times worse than your iPhone, by the way. It's the one that your uncle used to come for every party with. From the patti to the juta to the khana to the table lamp, how uncles used to shoot everything, that goddamn. Say, ऐसे कैसे shoot किया? Saying experimental film. ठीक है, ये actor कौन है? Send him to me. I went to his house. He gave me 2 lakhs. Check. I said, what for? He said, this is for my next film. I said, really? Saying, which is your next film? I don't know. So I don't have another film. He said, then why are you giving me 2 lakhs? He's saying, I'm giving you 2 lakhs because I want you in my next film. You will act in my next film. If you decide to do a Hindi film in mainstream, you will not give me dates. I promise you that. The moment you start working, you will not have time. I'm booking you now. I said, really? Yeah. He disappeared for 8 months. I'm not sure. Call after 8 months. And then he finally said, picture mil gayi. Yara, picture mil gayi. Kya baat hai? I said, picture ka naam kya hai? He said, Munnabhai MBBS. I hated the name. I said, picture ki kahani kya hai? What's the story? He's saying, ek gunda hai. Ek gunda hai. वो डॉक्टर बनना चाहता Buddha wants to be a doctor. This sounds ridiculous. I said, मेरा role क्या है? तू एक dean है, doctor है, तू dean है, and you will laugh through the movie. Laugh through the movie? I said, yeah. I said, it's the worst movie I've ever heard of. My first big Hindi movie break, and Vidhu, Chopra is saying you will laugh through the movie, and I'm saying, God, am I in trouble? Go and meet my assistant. I said, you're not making the film. I'm saying, no, my assistant will make the film. He was not even his assistant. He was his editor. But he said, my assistant. What's his name? Raju. I said, oh God, now I'll deal with some Raju now. So I went and met Raju. Raju narrated the story to me. And I said, this is an amazing story. You know why? There was only passion. He was crying. He was laughing. He was on his knees. I'm saying, this man is something else, or I love this story. I'm doing this movie. And then we had difficulty casting the movie. We didn't have money to fund the movie. Nobody wanted to distribute the movie. And I'm saying to everybody, don't ever think you are doomed because the world and the odds are stacked up against you. When that happens, you'll be more passionate and you're out there to prove the world well. I said in the beginning, a screenwriter says that an actor, the main character always needs to have a want. There's a principle in screenwriting. If you have an intention, there has to be an obstacle. If there is no obstacle, the movie gets over in 10 minutes. And the greater the intention, the greater the obstacles. And the sweeter the fruit. And these were obstacles, key obstacles. Only obstacles. So much so that when we went to shoot the last shot of the film, we needed a Shadi ka mandap with flower decorations and all. We didn't have money for that. You might think that Munnabhai must have been a big budget film. No. No. We didn't have money to put up the Shadi ka mandap. So we gate crashed into somebody's Shadi. We hid behind the stage. Sunil Dutt, Sanjay, the director, Gracie Singh, me, we waited for all the guests to go home and then we jumped on stage, we took the photographs and we ran. I mean, you know what I mean? So don't think that everybody, it's easy. It's a bed of roses. We go there, we make one call and, these things cost money. And people who don't have faith in you, you have to overcompensate it with faith in yourself. You remember that? With the movie got made, nobody wanted to distribute it. They distributed themselves. It opened miserably, by the way, to half-empty houses. Heartbroken. I'm saying, wait, it's a great movie. It'll pick up. Word of mouth. It's true. You can pump in crores of rupees into the ad campaign and the publicity. But if the movie is not good, the movie will flop. But this movie was good. Now, why did it flop? Let's wait. Give me a minute. I used to go to the Maratha Mandir cinema to watch it in Manila. I used to go to the Maratha Mandir cinema to watch the last show. I used to pull my shutter down. The dukan, the shop was still around then. And then I used to go and stand behind near and he used to say, Dekho, baito, baito. Dekho. They didn't know who I was. I was bald in the movie, right? And I just couldn't understand why the movie is not doing well. I went out and I stood on the pavement, on the footpath, and I was looking into the sky. I said, today's the day it has to pick up now. I heard a voice. The voice said, nice and loud, yeah, Mamo. Niche dekh. On the footpath was a lady, a very rough looking lady, sitting there like that. She's looking at me like that. And she said something to me that no one, no reviewer, no critic, no fan, has ever said it so sweetly and so simply. She gave me, she said, aise kiya usne. Say, Mamu, kamal ka kaam kiya tune, kamal ka kaam kiya. And I was so happy. I said, wow, my first fan. She's sitting on the footpath. And then she said something that blew me completely. She said, हम लोग बहुत पैसा कमाएंगे. So, हम लोग पैसा कमाएंगे. I thought she was a distributor or she was a producer who had had 7-8 flops in a row and now she's on the footpath. And I'm saying to myself, बहुत पैसा कमाएंगे. Saying, मेरे को मालूम है. मैं black market में ticket बेचती हूँ. This is before your multiplex, huh, boss? I know, मुझे मालूम है कौन सी picture उठेगी. ये picture record तोड़ी. I call up Raju, yeah. Our movie is going to be a big hit. Huh? Who told you? Trade guide. Huh? Taran huh? Who? I said, no, black market. तो पागल हो गया, black market की बात सुन रहा है तो. I said, no, they know, Raju. They know the pulse of the people. They know the pulse of the film. Believe it or not. If you don't believe, they don't believe. We believe by making the movie. This is a movie with heart. Only that heart comes across the screen. Then the public believes. And it became a sensation of a movie. 10 days later, 10 nominations. 10 days after that, the awards. And life turns around. It's all about faith. It's all about never giving up. It's all about telling yourself you do things with heart, no matter how big or small anything is. You don't ever tell anyone that you are smaller than him. No client of yours is smaller than another client. No product you're selling is smaller than or bigger than somebody else. If I had not paid attention to Let's Talk, that little handicap movie, I would never have got Munnabhai. Had we not put our heart and soul into Munnabhai, it would never be the movie that it is today, the most loved movie. If you turn and say, koi distribute nahi kara, okay, distribute it small, don't advertise, don't publicity, release kar do. Let's cover our profits, losses, sorry. Let's cut our losses and get. No, we believed. I'm standing there the night before. Arshad Varsi is asking me, what are you wearing tomorrow? I said, what do you mean? He's saying, you need to wear a suit, boss, you might win. I said, I don't have a suit. He said, no, you need a suit. I said, boss, I don't know. I said, no. We call up a masculine tailor and we ask him to make a suit in 24 hours for me. He says, I don't have time. So Arshad says, no, please, what's the actor's name? I said, Boman Irani. He said, I don't know any Boman Irani. I said, thank God, because they are very expensive, these stars, tailors and outfitters. So he said, thank God. He said, please, he might win. Saying, which picture? Munnabhai. What do you do in Munnabhai? He was a dean. Are, wo takla. Are, I love the takla man. Mamu. I also felt good, saying, I'll make a suit for him. I'll make a suit. So in 24 hours, I'm saying, okay, how are you going to make a suit? So he says, I'll what's your height? So what? What's your height? So I said, 6'2". Suit ban jayega. I said, buddy, sorry, I'm not paying top dollar for suit measured only by knowing my height. Will the collar come on my head or what? What are you talking about? I said, no. He spoke to me. I said, boss, wait, take it easy. We don't have time. Listen, guys, I don't have time for measurements and all of that. What you don't understand is that I got a DVD of Munnabhai in the house. Don't tell anybody. Shh. I'll play it. When you come on screen, when you come full length, I'll pause you. You're on the full length. What's your height? I said 6'2". 6'2". Okay. So 6 feet 2 inches is so many inches. So many inches corresponds to, and I'll measure you on the screen, 12 inches. All right. 12 inches. So if 12 inches corresponds 100 and whatever, I'll do the conversion. We'll do shoulder, armpit, length, waist. Done. Tomorrow you go, sir. Good luck. Good luck, kya good luck? I was standing under the stage where they all do that cross patti. They were standing on a towel waiting for my suit. 10 o'clock, the suit is not arrived. Standing there like a damn fool. I said, never mind, I'll wear my jeans and my t-shirt and go and collect my award. If I get it. Suit came. Like, the guy was shouting out, how in the lockdown, all the bajiwala shout on the street every morning. Dudi. Aisa awaaz aata na? Similarly, when my suit came, Boman Irani. Arey baba, Boman Irani, idhar hai, kidhar hai? Andhere mein, with the torch, one guy came. I started wearing the suit, and Prem Chopra Sahab goes on stage and starts announcing this thing. I'm fixing the tie, and they announce my name, and I jumped. I said, yeah, and from there, from under the stage, I ran up the ramp of the service ramp where they pull the sets and the lights on. Because the main side couldn't go because I was standing behind it to go all the way around. I couldn't do that. So I ran up the ramp, and it was just a ramp with slats on it. So I slipped and I fell. I started dusting myself. I injured my knee. Again I fell. I'm saying to myself, look, buddy, you've done this all your life. You've run, you've fallen down, you've gotten up, you've dusted yourself, and you run again. That's all it takes, buddy. That's all it takes. I went on stage and got my first award. I just want to say 2 more things before I end my session. Number 1 is that story is never over. That award doesn't mean that my story is over. It means that I have to raise my game. I have to keep paying my dues. I have to keep learning something new. I have to keep understanding that just because I do 20 years in the film business, or 18 years in the film business means that I know how to make a film. No, I just barely learned how to act in it. If I want to know how to make a film, I should know how to write a film. If I want to know how to write a film, I should learn how to write. And I've become a student. And now I'm teaching also. And 2 things. I went some years ago to New York to the Lexington Hotel. And the manager there, the general manager, was standing with a bouquet of flowers for me. And, it does feel good, but it's very humbling also. Somebody's waiting. He's got work to do. He should be in his office. He's standing for a bouquet of flowers. And he gives me a bouquet of flowers. And I said, please put it away. He's saying, why, Mr. Irani? I said, first of all, don't call me Mr. Irani, sir. He said, why? He's saying, you're Sam Bhara, right? He says, yes, Mr. Sam Bhara. You gave me my first job at Taj Mahal Hotel. You can't be giving me flowers. I should be touching your feet. And I tell you, life has its beautiful circle around it. Work towards it, my friends. Work towards it. Do not think of life as with the razzle dazzle of it. Think of your intention and think of your obstacle. Last year I went to Norway and I won an award at the Oslo Film Festival there. And there was an interview. I said, which magazine are you representing? He said, VG. I said, I'll tell you a story about VG. I had sold you some photographs. You guys made my photography career. God bless you. God bless you all too. God bless your lovely institute and what you represent, and wish HSNC University the very best. I just shared what I had to say. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. Thank you.
Hello. Saksham, you're taking forward the question so that we can relieve sir faster before we end.
Don't worry. Let me check the time. I'll tell you when I'm good to go. Don't push it. Yeah, we got 10-15 minutes.
So quickly we'll take through the questions, and then we will give formal vote of thanks to Boman ji. But I have to say many things, but after the question and answers.
Okay, go.
Saksham, quickly take forward. Come, please. I don't want to delay, sir.
Aksham, come on, man.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. We have some questions over our YouTube live comment section. I'll take some of them. The first question is from Darshan Brijwani. The question is, what makes you feel grounded even after you have achieved the height of success?
I don't know what the height of success is, Darshan, first of all. I'll tell you what I feel. I don't go out of my way to feel grounded. I'll tell you what it is. I think it's there in that poster you made. A lifelong student. A student cannot afford to be floating in the air. If you're a lifelong student, behave like one, buddy. Simple. That's it. Behave like one. I learn every day something new. I make it a point to learn something new every day. It's not a complicated answer. Why are you grounded? You know what? Sometimes people take manners and politeness as being grounded. Manners is manners. You got to be nice to people. And I tell you, there's only one thing I'll say. You must speak to people beneath your station. That's a cheap way of putting it, sorry. As well as you would speak to someone of your station or above your station. I think that's manners. That's not humbleness. I know far more humble people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have a question from Drishti and Parth. How should someone train right now to become a good actor? How to put yourself out there?
Well, you guys are lucky. I used to read a lot of books. Today, you can do a lot of stuff online. And there are so many bona fide courses. I think you should apply that too. But I think when wanting to be a good actor, please, one request. Don't be an actor just to be a star. If you want to turn to acting, try to be an actor that's a working actor, and you'll work all your life. And there's great joy in that. Stardom is something which is a byproduct of good acting. And again, you have to be a student all your life. I know of an actor called Al Pacino. You've heard of him, and he used to attend. There are online courses by his the acting school that he went to. It was called the Lee Strasberg School, and many years later, he would go into refresher courses. Refresh Al Pacino, Scent of a Woman, Godfather, Serpico, Dog Day. I mean, he goes and does refresher courses. So what does that tell you? It's a lifelong learning process. But if you want to be an actor, there are many wonderful online courses. There are many wonderful books that you can read. And you just have to, I'll tell you another thing, that's technique, but I'll tell you something else. Acting has got to do a lot with technique, confidence, portrayals, characterizations, voice and dialogue, and listening is very important for an actor. But I'll tell you one more thing. This they will never teach you in an acting school or in a book. You've got to be interested in human beings. You've got to be interested in your brothers and fellow people, no matter what strata of society they come from, because acting is about human beings. Acting is not about bodysuits and flying in the air. Those are special effects. So be interested in human beings. Don't be interested only in yourself, because you're limiting yourself by knowing yourself alone. Yeah. But if you know other people, you observe people, ask questions, be helpful, and sometimes people will open out to you. And that's also part of the acting process. Not just technique.
Thank you, sir. We have a question from Jagrati Sadhwani. Sometimes there's a conflict between writing the story that has the potential to sell and the story we want to tell. How can one make the decision?
Well, it's a difficult story. It's a nice question, Jagrati. Story that we want to sell and the story we want to tell. Believe me, again, it's a question of intention and obstacle. The story to sell, you can write 20. I don't know if they will be memorable, but that's not, I'm not making a judgment. It's a choice. It's a choice. I made choices because I had to take care of family certain times. But if there's a story and if it means something to you, if it's not personal, if it does not have questions, if it doesn't, it's not the kind of story that you want to tell, don't waver from it. Someone will believe in it eventually. Someone will believe in it because there's a truth to your story. The story that you want to tell is truthful. And if you chase the truthful story, selling it will be difficult. But once it's sold, it will be memorable. But if it's an untruthful story, selling it will be easy. 20 people will come up, but that's not what you want. You don't want 20 people to believe in it because those 20 people don't know what you're talking about. Sorry to say. So you must write stories that are truthful. Keep writing it. Keep writing it, buddy. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. Can we take one last question?
You must.
Yes. Thank you. This question is from Anmol. To believe in yourself, to believe in your own self takes a lot of courage, and it's difficult to realize your own potential when there are thousands of people who make you feel otherwise. How to actually put ourselves out in the world.
Look, thousands of people told me I'm a duffer, man. I didn't believe them. I may have believed them as a kid, but then I said, no, when I get on stage, I'm happy. When I'm going for dramatics, I'm happy. I stop listening. I become deaf to the thousands of people. I become deaf. There is something else I'm going to talk about screenwriting that will relate to you. There's a very famous philosopher, writer, mythologist called Joseph Campbell. And he said something very simple. He said, follow your bliss. Now, when you follow your bliss, you can't be listening to 1,000 people who tell you, tere se nahi hoga. That's why I told you the story. Oh, you're a duffer. Oh, tera kya hoga? Tera kya hoga? I mean, like Gabbar Singh told Kalia. People used to tell me, what's going to happen to you? Well, I'm talking to 3,000 kids today, man. Because I stopped listening to 1,000 people. Why? Because I followed my bliss. I followed my happiness. I found the places in the world that gave me joy. And the more joy that you're looking for, the more obstacles there will be. So let me give you a nice heads up on that also. So it's just, I want to be happy, so I go to my happy space. No, sometimes the happy space can be difficult. But when you do have fruit, it's great fruit. So don't ever feel that you're supposed to listen to those 1,000 people. Why are you listening to those 1,000 people? Do they matter? Do they bring joy to your life? Are they part of your bliss? Follow your bliss, buddies. Follow your bliss.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sure everyone would have taken a lot from this session. I would now like to hand over to Bagla ma'am.
Who is speaking? Sorry.
Bagla ma'am. So, Boman ji, incredible.
No, Baba, you make me
feel. Boman, yes. So, from duffer Boman to super performer Boman, I think that's been extraordinary journey. Boman ji, let me say this because our students are listening, and it is quite impressive journey of an incredible being. So, thank you so much for sharing gems of wisdom and your life experiences to all of us. But before I end and say something, we have Surya Gune with us, who would like to give you formal vote of thanks. And then one line I shall say at the end. Surya, please take forward.
Thank you so much, Principal Ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. You know, I love to listen to anecdotal talks a lot because that give a lot of inspiration, which is coming from real experiences. And I'm sure students must have learned a lot because, glamour world is such that everyone wants to enter, but nobody really knows how to keep oneself grounded, how to keep that balance going. And sir, thank you so much from all the students and all the teacher fraternity of KC and HR College to giving such wonderful talk. I would like to also thank our principal, Dr. Hemlata Bagla, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, principal of HR College, for organizing such a wonderful session for students, which is actually guiding them towards starting their career professionally. So thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to thank vice principals of both the colleges. More importantly, Manjula Srinivas, head of the Department of Mass Media, who has put together the sessions and has been with all of us organizing the sessions as well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, the technical support staff that is behind the scene working for the smooth operations. Thank you so much, students, for your beautiful questions that really tells us that you're enjoying the sessions and you're learning a lot from that. Thank you, non-teaching staff as well, for being there, always guiding us, supporting us. I would like to, end my vote of thanks by just saying thank you to Boman sir again, by telling us to follow the bliss that is in our heart and work towards fulfilling the ultimate want that we want to achieve in our life. Thank you so much once again. Over to you, Principal. Thank you.
So it was joy listening to you today. And as Surya said, and every student who is listening, all of our viewers, I must tell them that why we had asked Bomanji to come, because we know that culmination of art is not an easy task and there is no shortcut. And here is a person who is embodies all these qualities. And he, as he said, everything, if you want to culminate art, it needs hard work, patience, and continuous life, what we call it as sadhana, to achieve the state of perfection in art. So thank you so much once again, Bamanji. And this is not just one talk of our induction program. We would take our journey of our 3,000 viewers today onwards, and we have more sessions, because now I know that you are a teacher, and we would invite you as a teacher to our students. And young associate directors and script writers who are watching you and listening to you, they would also want to learn from you. So Boman's class, we will name that as, and Boman's master series, we would like to look forward to. Thank you once again with my folded hand, because you've always been there for all of us. Thank you so much. And yes, we will surely follow the bliss, and our students have taken those keywords, and they will write in their diaries and maintain those mantras and take them forward. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I mean,
And lots of love to Tayo.
Yes, when I was listening to sir,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Dr. Pooja here, and must say, when you were talking, when you took us from your life journey, from the day you were born till date, I mean, we could relate to it, and we were living with you, sir. The way you spoke, we could be with you at maybe in the hotel, maybe in the art room, in the photography room. That was the passion that you spoke with, and a great respect to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. And as my Hema ma'am said, the association this is just the beginning, and there's so much to learn from such a personality like you, Bamanji. Thank you so much for coming to HR and KC and telling our students that yes, glamour world is there, but there are also hardships there, and it's not just the limelight. There are difficult times also when you, and I think the first thing that what touched me was that you worked so much and cared for your family. What youngsters need to realize today is that the family is the first place. You may work with thousands of people, but ultimately you come back home, and when you care for them, that's where you get happiness, and it gives you that bliss to take decisions for your own self and for the family. Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful feeling listening to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Manjula ma'am, thank you so much. God bless you. Akayo remembers you so fondly, and he's doing very well, and he always thanks you for being a part of his life. And
Boman sir, with the permission from my principal, I would just like to say a couple of words.
Please.
Which maybe, a lot of viewers today or teachers from KC or HR may not be knowing about, which I know. And it is that the kind of close-knit family that you are, whether it is about Zenobia or about your sons. I have observed Kayo for 3 years, and let me tell you, never in those 3 years I felt he was a star kid. The values have been given to him like how a father gives to a son. And I am an example, or rather a witness to what values you've given your children. So we learned from you so much. We had a fear of interacting with a star like you. And I myself, being a very shy person, I wasn't very open about talking to you. I would always put Manju Nichani ma'am in the front, that ma'am, you call, you talk. I wouldn't do it. But those 3 years of being with Kayo made me very comfortable, being in touch with you and learning that all those people who are stars in the industry, most of them are also very genuine people at heart, and they are reachable and approachable. It's about us as an institution inviting you, and you would be there for our students. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And a big hello to Zenobia, ma'am.
Thank you. I got to go and teach now.
Yes.
Do our session.
All the best.
Bye all, everybody. Oh,
Bye.
3,000 of you, 30. I don't know how many, 330. I don't remember. 3.
Now 3,000. By the evening, there'll be 5,000, 6,000.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a lovely day.
Bye, Babanji.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Hema ma'am. Thank you, Manjula ma'am. All
Last
of you, all my students.
Session, let me tell all of HR and KC students that tomorrow is the ninth induction day of this program. So ninth induction lecture. And tomorrow we will have Mr. Nikunj Dalmia. You may not know, you will only know if you really watch news and ET Now. He is managing director, ET Now, and he has worked as NDTV stock editor. Lot to share with him, and he is ready to listen to and to hear your questions as well. So get ready, visit his biodata and Wikipedia, find out all the students of media, technology. Please be ready, and economics. Get ready with the questions and shoot out to him. He will tell you the actual story behind the scene and how these channels, new channels work. So you can ask any questions in that particular specific thrust area. So looking forward to meet you all. And tomorrow the session will be, Nick, tomorrow is,
Tomorrow
I'm
is
sorry,
Mr. Rajendra Barot.
Rajendra Barot. I'm sorry,
Yes.
this
I was
yes, Nikun Dalmia will be on 1st October. Yes, and tomorrow is 30th September. So I'm sorry. So tomorrow is Rajendra
at 10
Barot
a.m.
at
10
10.
a.m.
So get up a little early. So if you see, we are changing your schedule so that you should be with us. We will not take you to 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. But today was 10:30. Thank you for joining at 10:30. Tomorrow 10 o'clock. So see you tomorrow in the 9th induction day of HSNC University. Thank you, and we'll meet you tomorrow again. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Ma'am, with your permission, shall I end?
Yes, yes, please. Please end the session.